وللمزيد حول إصدارات السندات في المنطقة تنضم إلي في الاستوديو السيدة أنيتا يادف مديرة قسم أبحاث الدخل الثابت في بنك الإمارات دبي الوطني. أهلا وسهلا بك سيدة أنيتا. بداية، هل تشعرين بأن عام 2017 سيكون عاما أكثر هدوءا على صعيد إصدارات الدين من المنطقة؟
No, Zina. Actually, I think it's going to be far more active than 2016. Now, yes, the budget deficits of the GCC governments are going to be less in 2017 compared to 2016. But I think overall the governments are now more ready to do debt issuance rather than selling their reserves and bringing money home from reserve liquidation. Also, I think some of the corporates will probably need to tap the market. So in terms of overall bond issuance from GCC, I think 2017 will pretty much be as high as 2016, if not more.
طبعا عام 2016 شهد عدد من الإصدارات السيادية الضخمة على مستوى الأسواق الناشئة بشكل عام، يعني إضافة إلى السعودية كان لدينا الأرجنتين وكان كذلك لدينا قطر في منطقتنا أيضا. كلها كانت تقريبا بأسعار جيدة مقارنة مع أحوال السوق. ماذا يقول لنا هذا عن الشهية لدى المستثمرين لأدوات الأسواق الناشئة؟
Yeah, so Zina, the appetite for emerging market debt is reasonably high. In 2016, despite the fact that we did mega deals, most of them were oversubscribed by more than 4 or 5 times. You see Saudi Arabia 17.5 billion bond oversubscribed by nearly 5 times. Yeah? So the appetite for emerging market was, last year, because in the developed world there weren't very many opportunities for high return, and emerging markets was offering quite a bit of pickup over the developed market. I think that pickup differential will probably reduce a little bit, and which may dampen appetite somewhat a little bit. But I think overall there is still, particularly from GCC, it's a very well-rated, well-growing part of the world. So appetite for the GCC bonds, I would expect, would be higher than, let's say, average emerging market bonds. So I'm still expecting very good deals pick up and multiple time subscriptions.
ما الذي يحكم القرارات السيادية بإصدار سندات تقليدية من جهة أو إصدار صكوك من ناحية أخرى؟
Yeah, I think there are 2 factors that affect anybody's decision about sukuk and conventional. One is the speed. If you want to do something at a fast pace and immediately, then a conventional bond is easier to do, simply because it does not involve a whole lot of structuring that a sukuk needs. Yeah. So, and what happened was last year there were such large budget deficits that the government needed to fund immediately. They didn't get much time to plan, and so they ended up doing conventional bond. The second thing is, when you choose to do sukuk, you have to be confident there is demand for the sukuk, and the demand basically comes more from Sharia-compliant investors. Now, Sharia-compliant investors are mostly domiciled in this region, or the Islamic faith region, which somehow has been, they're all energy exporters. So because of the fall in oil price, the investors from this part of the world obviously had less money to put to work. So there was a little bit of apprehension whether a large ticket, if you were going to do a 5 billion kind of sukuk, whether there'll be enough take-up at the right price. There's always a take-up at a price, but probably the price may not have been as attractive as in the conventional bond. Another third little point that affects is sukuk generally tend to be 5 to maybe 10-year kind of tenor. So if somebody wants to do a 10, 15, 30-year kind of tenor, like we saw Saudi did a 30-year bond as well, then the sukuk demands tend to fall off slightly. It's because Sharia as a law prohibits speculation, and if you're taking a longer term exposure, if you cannot hedge that exposure, those kind of factors affect the demand. So for the longer dated paper, you tend to do conventional bonds.
ملفت عموما كان الإقبال الشديد على السندات اللي حملت مدة 30 عام وأصدرتها السعودية. ما تفسير هذا الأمر برأيك؟
I think the longer dated bond from Saudi was basically picked up by the pension fund and the insurance industry, particularly in the US and rest of the developed world, Europe area. It's because the longer dated paper gives higher return higher yield, and in an environment where there was a substantial part of the bond market which was giving negative yields, insurance and pension funds were struggling to get some good returns. So if it's a well-rated country with good reserves and low level of debt like Saudi, then a 30-year paper, the higher return that was coming from it was very attractive to those pension funds and insurance industry, which is why I guess it was taken up very well.
أخيرا فيما يتعلق بأدوات الدين التي تصدرها الشركات في المنطقة، هل غير مناخ الأعمال الضعيف من النظرة المستقبلية لها؟
I think the slow growth has definitely slowed in the last 2 years, but we are seeing signs of pickup. We expect economic growth in the region in 2017 would be higher. And I guess in line with that, I think corporates may have utilized all the cash that was there on the balance sheet and may now need to issue. I guess, but the thing that affects the corporates coming from the market is the competition from the banking sector. Banks here provide very strong competition. And depending on how large the corporate is and how well rated it is, I guess they can choose to either go in the bank market or corporate bond market. So I would expect debt to be raised this year. Now how much of it comes in the bond and how much stays in the bank is yet to be seen.
السيدة أنيتا يادف مديرة قسم أبحاث الدخل الثابت في بنك الإمارات دبي الوطني، شكرا جزيلا لك.
شكرا.